Hey everyone, this is Angela Sasser, fantasy artist and Art Nouveau artist. You might know my work from angelasasser.com. And for the video today, I wanted to come back with a question I've been getting a lot lately in light of the recent publication of the Coloring Heaven magazine, which features my coloring pages. Been published in the UK this month, and a lot of people have been asking me about my publishing experience. So I wanted to talk about that today. So the big question, how do you get published? So first of all, I've actually published two books. The first one was in 2011 and it was called Angelic Visions, Create Fantasy Art Angels in Watercolor, Ink, and Color Pencil. And that was a book about teaching other people how to paint fantasy angels. Impact Books actually approached me to create the book. I didn't approach them. One of the big reasons Impact Books approached me was because I was very passionate about angels. I loved researching the stories. I loved doing paintings about the different archangels. A lot of my older work now revolved around angels, so my passion for the subject was first and foremost what drew them to me, because I had been establishing my work online as being an artist who was passionate about the stories and art of angels. So that is one of the big things to remember. And that was pretty cool. I would say I got lucky, but honestly, thinking back on that experience, they found me because I had a really prominent online presence. I was on Elfwood, I was on DeviantArt, and why that's important is that I was on a lot of places that Impact Books demographic was on. They are basically a company that targets amateur artists who want to learn the basics of doing different types of art. And so DeviantArt and Elfwood are the starting places for a lot of people back then, anyways. They're the active places for sharing art if you were a young artist. I also, during that time, was working on my thesis. And for those who don't know, I'm actually, in addition to being a studio art major, I also am a grad student or a graduate of the Savannah College of Art and Design. Wrote my thesis in e-marketing and evolving audiences, and I have a MA in arts administration. At the time that I was approached to publish the book, I'd actually been working on my thesis doing these experiments where I wanted to test the effectiveness of social media for reaching audiences and that would enjoy my work. So I had joined Twitter, I had made a Facebook business page, I had the complete spread where I was sharing my work. I was paying $50 a month during my thesis to boost ads on Facebook. I was on LinkedIn. I was just testing to see if this actually made my work easier to find, and it did. So I can't say enough about the effectiveness on having a presence first before you are published, either publishing your own work or approaching a publisher to have them publish your work for you. So have a presence, don't be shy. Get your work out there and share. And another thing that really worked well for me then, that was part of my appeal to Impact, is that I also had some YouTube videos up back then. They were really crappy and they had bad lighting, but the editor at the time saw potential in that. So they actually flew me out to their artist network studio where they recorded me painting and showing people how to create fantasy skin tones. And that wouldn't have happened if I didn't have that presence up on YouTube already before they came to me about doing Angelic Visions. And so again, videos are a great way to engage people, as I'm trying to do right now with this video. And yeah, it's just so important to get your work out there and get over that shyness. So how was my publishing experience with Impact Books? Just to give you an idea of what you can expect when you're actually working on a book. I worked with editors on staff, and It took me about a year and a half to actually create all the work and tutorials. And that's something you have to think of too, is that you're actually you can't just create pretty pictures. You have to be able to describe your process. And while editors will help you smooth that part over, it's good to have some samples of your process that you can relate to someone in a proposal if you're proposing your work to Impact, which they are a company that does accept public proposals. I'll link it down in the description of this video in case anyone has an idea of that they want to pitch to Impact Books. And if you think you fit in with their catalog of books, go check out what kind of books they publish, or check out any publisher and what kind of books they publish and see if your work fits in. And I should say that the book took a year and a half also because I started off with an original idea to do sections based on each type of archangel, or each type of angel, like archangels, guardian angels, etc. But then the structure was changed later on to be about creating backgrounds, creating wardrobe, more nuts and bolts types of things rather than thematic types of sections. And that was just an editing decision that was made to help the material be more relatable to artists. And that's going to happen. Sometimes things are going to change, so you just kind of have to roll with it. And also, I should say that having your work published by an actual mass market publisher isn't a magic button to success. You know, it varies per company, but Impact Books, once the book was published, they handled distribution to Barnes and Nobles and Books A Million and any of the other big companies, but it was up to me to get my author profile up on Amazon. It was up to me to go to do book signings at my local bookstores. And let me tell you, it was actually really hard to approach a lot of bookstores about having a book signing, because they would be like, you're a new author? I don't think you're going to bring enough traffic to the store. So I was rejected a lot as far as doing book signings. And I think there's also this expectation that the company is going to book your book signings for you. Some do, but sometimes they don't. Like Impact didn't book those for me. I booked them myself. So it took a lot of persistence and phone calls and rejection to get the book signings going. I also did book blog tours where I gave my book as a review copy to people and had them review it and put it up on their blog. And those are some ideas. I could probably do a whole other video about that. But there are plenty of articles out there on how to promote after you've been published if your company isn't setting up all that promotion for you. So it's not a magic button to success. I can't live off the royalties that I get from Angelic Visions, but it's still great to have a published title. And it's worth looking into to do publishing with a publisher if you want someone else to take care of distribution, which is a big deal when you're a one-person business. So things to consider. So next, how did I get published for Coloring Heaven magazine? Again, the publisher came to me, and again, I attribute that heavily to having an online presence beforehand. And also, the big difference with this one is that they found me via my personal work, which is the Ladies of the Month's birthstone project I've been working on for the past couple of years. And this is a project I took a lot of risk on because I wanted to do something that I was inspired to do, that I really wanted to see out in the world, but I had no idea if anyone else would really like it. I just had a suspicion that they would like it, because birthstones, art nouveau, those are things I love that other people also tend to enjoy and that make great gifts usually when you have birthstone paintings. But there was a time there I was like, this isn't worth doing because I should just be looking at freelance work, which makes a lot more money, because I'm not going to be making a lot of money while I'm working on this personal project that's unproven. So I just have to take this moment to emphasize how important it was for me to give that personal project a chance. I gave the ladies a month a chance, and that this publishing job would not have come to me unless I had taken that gamble on the ladies of the month's project. So give your personal projects some love. You never know who might see and enjoy them, and that's adding something into the world that you really want to see that actually could help you get your art further than you think it might. So give personal projects a chance. I should also say that in addition to the usual social media promotion like Twitter, Facebook page, blah 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 blah, there are actually a lot of interest groups for coloring books and people who love to color coloring books, and I've actually been participating pretty heavily in those for the past year or so. I share my coloring pages on there when I post them to Etsy, and I think I was probably cited for the publisher via one of those coloring book groups, because a few of them are actually ran by coloring magazines. So that's one thing I've noticed has been really helpful for getting my art out to the right people, is to join Facebook groups and participate. You can't just join them and never do anything, but participate in interest groups who are interested in the kind of product you're making, and share. Just keep sharing, and again, don't be shy. So I hope this insight has been helpful to some of you. Be brave, give personal projects a chance, and leave me some questions down in the comments if you have any. I'd love to field more questions. I have a feeling I could create several more videos about this topic, so let me know your thoughts. If you want to see more from me, you can click like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more about my creative process, as well as more thoughts about the business of art, like this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
If you enjoy my art, be sure to check out my site at www.angelasasser.com for more. You can also sponsor me on Patreon, where you can join my artistic journey and receive exclusive sneak peeks and rewards. Thanks for watching. Wishing you all inspiration.